Amazingly beautiful day here in Philly, and how appropriate. I went to school here, went to undergraduate business school, Wharton here, and great question. I think a lot of people worry that they don't have enough business experience when they're applying to a business school for undergrad. If you have an interest in anything, just take it as far as you can. So if you're interested in government and debate, a student who was worried that's not businessy enough, but if you take anything to a high level, if you build a group around that, you're going to show traits that are going to be positive for really any major, but especially business. If you're able to communicate, if you're able to lead a team, the point is you don't need to necessarily have started a startup to be competitive, to be seen as someone who's going to function really well in business school. Follow your passions. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but just like I said, take anything that you're interested in, anything you were interested in earlier in high school, earlier in life, and just see how far you can take that, how many people you can help, how many people you can build in any type of group that helps further that interest personally or in your community, whatever it might be. Again, that's going to show a lot of positive qualities that are going to be essential if you want to have a career in business. So you don't need to necessarily have a traditional business background. Like, I've always been interested in business from a really young age, and kind of have shifted more over to the arts as I've gotten older. You could be the other way around and say if you're really interested in anything. Passion's important, communication's important, teamwork's important, and you're probably showing those if you're part of groups that you care about, and if you're doing things that you care about, you're going to be competitive at business school. I remember I was almost surprised how a lot of students entering Wharton didn't know a lot about business. I mean, I've been watching CNBC when I was 12. I thought everybody would be on that level, and not to say that I'm better, but I thought that, like a lot of students applying, that it was a prerequisite to know a lot about business, to have a lot of business experience. It's really not. You need to show the possibility that you could be a leader, and that's going to help you get into a great school like Wharton, any great business school, and really any undergraduate school in general. It's just showing a dedicated interest in what you're doing. So how many schools is too many schools? Good question. It's obviously kind of a complicated question. It's going to vary by person, but let me just give you a couple things to think about when you're coming to the decision. Now, some guidance counselors, some schools in fact, might cap the number of schools to which you can apply to, say, 10 schools. And they can kind of limit your options, but it's meant to make the job of the guidance counselor, who sometimes could be overwhelmed, a little bit easier. And some students apply to a lot of schools, and they don't maybe provide themselves enough time to do an adequate, outstanding job on all their applications. So they're kind of wasting everybody's time by applying. So if you don't have a lot of time, you may have to limit the number of schools to which you apply. But if you're starting the process when you should, if you're giving yourself enough time to do an outstanding job on all areas of your application, you can apply to a lot of schools. It's going to help you. You're going to have more options. You're going to be able to compare offers. Maybe if financial aid is an issue. Overall, it's a much better decision. But if you're watching this and it's November, you're going to have to limit your schools and not apply to, say, 15 schools. But you can apply to more the more time you're giving yourself to create outstanding applications. So behind me is the trolley that I would always take to go from where we are now, University City, to Center City, where I was earlier in the day. And I take that to see comedy shows, to go hang out in Rittenhouse Square, to get a cup of coffee downtown and study a little bit when I wasn't working on a group project with people on campus. So really explored all of Philly, all of University City, and it was better for it. So how that relates to your question is that if you can spend a summer on a campus, you're going to get to know it extremely well, and that's going to be reflected in everything from the interview to your essays. You're going to have a lot of great raw material that you can craft into a wonderful application. And also, applying for a summer program, it's a nice warm-up to, here's the trolley right here. It's a nice introduction, it's a nice warm-up to the essays you'll have to write, to the college admissions process that you're going to encounter, which is more in depth that you'll encounter when you're applying your senior year. So it's a nice preview of what's to come I definitely think it's a great way to see what people might write about you, what your teachers might write about you in the letters of rec, since you need letters of rec for most summer programs. It's a nice peek at what they might write if you were to ask them in the future, in the fall, for a letter of rec. So all the way around, summer programs are great. I think it's a great way to develop and just kind of be on your own and learn. It's a nice preview of what college is going to be like. And I got accepted into the Harvard program. I got accepted into the Harvard summer program and didn't end up going, but I've done a lot of programs growing up, ski camps, and paying for myself to go to a ski camp in Vancouver, things like that. And they're all really helpful to be on my own. I learned a lot about what I was interested in and kind of what I wanted to do when I got older. And I think that experimentation's great. Being away from home might be nice. That independence could be great. So if you're on the fence for a summer program, apply. I think they give a lot of scholarships, grants. It's not nearly as expensive as college, so go for it. You really have nothing to lose. And again, for all the other reasons I just described, it's really a win-win. Whether or not you get into the program, you're warming yourself up for the regular application process, which if you're watching these videos, you probably know it's a little bit difficult. Unfortunately, can't give a amazing answer if that topic is, first off, I'm sorry it happened to you, but if that topic is really appropriate, because implementation and how you approach a topic matters a lot with writing. So I think there are some general guidelines, topics you want to avoid, ideas you want to avoid with your writing. But implementation matters a lot. The process of writing can take a topic that might not be that interesting and turn it into something really special, really profound. And similarly, you could have a wonderful idea. It seems like a wonderful idea, but implementing it correctly could be a lot of work. So an idea is somewhat cheap. You want to come up with a lot of ideas. With all of my students, all the students that we work with, we come up with a ton of great ideas, and then there's a whole rewriting implementation process. One more caveat would be if you were to have an entirely sad essay, I like to avoid that. I think it's more difficult to have an essay that has nuance, humor, makes the reader laugh, cry, and really experience a full range of emotions. I think that's more interesting. Even a lot of you could think of movies, books. Even if they're very sad, they often have moments that are not so sad, and that's for the enjoyability of the reader, and it's better writing. So I would hesitate to write an entire essay about one topic, especially one that might be sad, that might not show the full range of who you are, and it's usually harder to make something funny. I think that's where a lot of students fall short, and just keep that in mind. Hopefully those topics help. If you're visiting Penn, be sure to come out to Clark Park, 45th Street, explore a little bit of West Philly. I think you're really going to like it. It's an amazingly diverse, vibrant, artistic, beautiful community. I liked it a lot. I'm happy that I spent some time out here, only like 7 blocks away from the heart of Penn's campus. Not that far at all. It was really easy, and I had a great time. And just involved in the arts. There's a lot of amazing artists here, like I think over here, maybe walking by where members of Dr. Dog live. Great band. Now she's walking backward through a parade. I think wherever you visit, try to explore the surrounding areas as much as you can, and ask your tour guide, ask people on campus, what are some more interesting, kind of off the regular beaten track places to go. You explore the areas around the campus, because hopefully you'll be taking advantage of those once you're a student. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you can make it to Penn, make it to Philly, and hopefully these tips helped you on your journey. Don't give up, guys. Just keep going, and try to have a little fun along the way. I'm David. I'll talk to you soon.